Hey guys, how's it going? So what am I working on now? Well, I got my '06 Silverado here. What looks better to you? Let me show you. Does that look better? Or does that look better? That look better? Or that look better? I mean, in all honesty, obviously, driver's side looks a lot better. I'm going to show you how to install a set of lights on these things. Now, you hear me talk about cheap parts, Chinese parts, stuff like that. And I've also said that there are very good Chinese parts. You got to be wary of price. I would not use cheap Chinese stuff for like ignition coils, injectors. Even if you find an injector that's like a name brand injector, marked and everything else. Think about this for a second, because I know this happened to somebody. It was an injector for a Cummins diesel. They're like $600 or $700 a piece for this particular model year, whatever it was. They're like $600 or $700 a piece. So he found online a set of 6 injectors for $600. Brand new, and they were supposedly Cummins injectors. Does that make any sense to you? No, it doesn't. Well, guess what? He bought them, and they all started failing within a couple of months. They worked initially, and he said, oh, great. You know, he got a great deal. He got a great deal online. Yep, no. I tell you, the headache that caused that man, something you got to think about. Anyway, so I hate to go off on a tangent there. So when's it okay to use cheap Chinese parts? Headlights, for example. That's a good one. Basically non-computer controlled pieces. Like, you don't want to use this, like, unfortunately, sensors, if you get them from the parts store, you're going to wind up getting Chinese anyway, normally. But with better quality parts, you should use it for anything with vehicle engine running, any vehicle engine parts, you know, stuff like that. Let's see, what else? Radiators, almost every radiator nowadays is made in China. There's nothing you can do about that. Brake parts, you know, that's a mixed mash. Never go cheap on brake parts, ever. No, never go cheap on brake parts. But here, this is a set of headlights and parking lights that I got off of Amazon for like 80 bucks. I've used these in the past. You could go to Depot Lights or something like that. But I usually find them on Amazon, and I've had good luck with them. No, they're not going to last like originals, but originals, you know, are 5 times the price. So, where do you draw the line? Here's a truck it's starting to rust. It's got some rot on it. It's not going to last forever. If I can get another 2 years out of this truck has served me well. What's going to give up on this thing is because it's rusting. So, why would I spend incredible amounts of money on headlights? If this was a newer vehicle, and let's say headlight broke, I'd want a factory headlight. I wouldn't put one of these in. You know, if I had like a 2018, 2019 something, doesn't matter what, I would prefer a factory headlight. Shoot, some factory headlights are well over $1,000. I seen a BMW headlight when I was running a body shop there. The BMW headlight was $4,000 for one headlight. Whew! So, anyway, that's it. I just wanted to show you that. I'm going to show you how to change them. These things are super simple to change. Super simple. So, what's the first thing you do when you're changing something like this, when you're changing headlights? Check your bulbs. Make sure your bulbs are all working. Because now's the time to change the bulbs, because the new lights don't come with bulbs. So, let's do that. Let's turn the headlights on, and parking lights are going to come on, then the headlights. And let's check to see what I got there. I know my turn signals are working fine, so I'm not concerned about that. But let's go do that. Actually, hang on one second. I like to start and stop videos at a certain point. It just makes life easier when I got to edit it together. And, oops, I didn't. All right. So, there we go. Corner light's working. The parking light's working. That's a daytime running light. The high beams are working, that parking light's working, that corner light's not working. Okay, high beams are working. Let's go back to low beam. Okay, low beams are working. Now, just so you see, look at the reflection on this Buick. From this headlight to that headlight. See the difference in light? Huge difference. So that's why I'm changing them also. So I know I got to change that one bulb. You know, if you want to change all the bulbs, go ahead, change all the bulbs. It's up to you. But we're just going to change that. We're just going to fix that one bulb. Also, too, these lights are so easy to take in and out. If I blow a bulb, it's super simple to fix. You don't need tools. And I'll show you that in a second. Now, I shouldn't actually say you don't need tools. Most of the time, you don't need tools. Sometimes you do need a flathead screwdriver. See this lever here? You pick up on it. I've seen these things get stuck in place. Especially on northern vehicles, this pin rots in there, and you have the dickens of a time getting it out. So when I'm actually done here, I'm going to wire wheel this thing, because you see, it doesn't slide nice and easy. So with the pin out, just stick it to the side, and the whole headlight lifts up and out. Not difficult. Not difficult at all. Your headlight bulbs, let me show you that. Go there. Let me go there. Your headlight bulbs, just twist them out. Stick them to the side. You don't want to put your fingers on the glass. Because believe it or not, the oil from your skin, if it gets on the bulb, it can actually boil when you turn the lights on and then break the glass. And then the bulb's no good. These two tabs here, one here, they fit in a receiver slot that's here and here. So when you're going back together, you just got to make sure those fit in. That's what locks it. Who will be calling here on Sunday? The shop's closed. So now, the bottom, the parking light lens. Very simple. Let me get you where you can see this. I think you can see this. I might have to do something different here. Yeah, hold on. Let me do something a little different because you can't see it. Down inside there. Now this is the lens itself. So this is the back side of the lens. You have to push that tab in. You push that tab in and then the whole light will pop out. So just so you can see that while I'm doing it. Okay. Now also here sometimes, you see my grill is actually cracked. Sometimes you need a screwdriver. There it goes. And once you get that out, this end just tucks behind and then it falls out. So very, very, very simple. So now to get these bulbs out, you just have, go from this side, just has this locking tab you got to press and then rotate the bulb to get it out. Let's do that with the rest of them, and then let's get this changed over. So here, let me just show you taking the rest of this out. You can see that corner bulb's all whited out. Now be careful, when you see them whited out like that, normally that means it's gotten water inside of it. So in the process of trying to take it out, the bulb could shatter in your fingers and then you'll cut your fingers. I've done it, I've seen it, so just something to think about. Let me go grab a new bulb and let's go from there. So with this connector, what I'm going to do is just blow it out. No big deal, because sometimes you get corrosion in there. This is dielectric grease. You can pick this stuff up at the parts store. It's Permatex. You can see that, right? I'm trying to look back at the camera. Just put a little glob on the inside there. That's what I just did. Not sure if that showed up. And stick your bulb in. That's all. Wipe off the excess, no big deal. put it back together. If you have too much of this stuff on there and gets on the bulb, like all over the bulb, because the bulb does create heat. If you do that, then you might see some smoke or whatnot coming out of the bulb. So, with this kit I got, like I said, I got this thing off of Amazon. You go on Amazon, just type in your vehicle, and it'll come up with a bunch of different ones. They do make some super cheap ones. These are kind of middle of the road as far as the lights go. So now, they actually have these little, like, protector cups so junk doesn't get inside, you know, like from shipping. So just take these little protector things off. And you don't have to go too nutty worrying about if there's like residual on there. It's not really going to affect anything. See that? Alright, so let me get all of these off and then let's put this in place. Alright, so let's put the lights back in place. A lot of times, this parking light, for some reason, every one I've ever done, the parking light's kind of hard to get rotated back in place. Or corner light, I should say. The ones with the little 194 or 168 bulbs. Alright, so they're in place and they're locked in. So now, let's get that lens actually in place. Sorry for the shadows. It's just the lighting in the shop. So now, like I said, on this side, you're going to get that inserted like that. See that? Insert that like that. And then those two tabs here will fit in those cups in the plastic. And then once you're done with all of that, come over and you look on this side, and that end will snap in place. So that's it. Now that's in place. So let's do the headlight. And there again, pretty simple. Let me grab the other one. Alright, so here's the new lamp assembly. It had those covers on there. I peeled them off. Like I said, it doesn't really affect anything. You know, you can't peel it off completely. If it really bothers you that much, take some rubbing alcohol or something to get rid of the little bit of stickiness. So now, just get the headlights in place. Come on, baby. There we go. Sometimes they don't want to cooperate. Now, what you got to remember, when going back in, sometimes it's difficult to see, but those tabs that I was telling you about, they've got to fit in that receiver groove. And it's easier to take this end here, tuck it behind the grill, and drop everything in place. Let me back up a little bit, maybe you can see it better. Like that, and then it's still up. And then all of a sudden you can feel those notches go in, like I'm pulling at the bottom here and it's not coming out. When it's up and out, see it pulls out. So there, it's locked in place. So now that pin should line up. I'm going to go wire wheel this thing before I put it back in. Alright, so I just wire wheeled that. You know, I didn't go bananas on it, just wire wheeled it, get all the junk off of it. So now you want to line everything up and start sliding it through the hole. You can't see that, right? Let's move that up a little bit. Okay. Sometimes it gets a little tricky. Like sometimes things don't want to line exactly up. See, there it goes. Now everything's lined in place. Roll this over, latch in place. If this piece is snapped off, just roll it over. Don't worry too much about it. If you're really concerned, you can run a zip tie somehow from here. I've never seen one back out, even when this was broken. So, how easy was that? I mean, come on. That's real easy. Anybody can do that. Confident, any one of you can do that with no issue. Let's turn the lights on. Wow, look at the difference in brightness on the Buick over there. So let's go check our lights. That's all working. Let's check our high beams. Our high beams are, wow, what a difference right there. Plus it gives the truck it gives a truck a newer appearance. When you see those old yellowed, old dull headlights, what do you think? Like, mentally in your head, it pops up, man, it's an old truck. You see brand new headlights, it's now a newer truck. So if you're going to be, let's say you got a vehicle you want to sell, it might be worth throwing a set of headlights in it, because they're not that expensive, and it's something that people notice right away. You know, and like I said, they may not. It may be a subliminal thing where they don't even think about it, but it makes the car appear old. You know, with the newer lights, it's not so old anymore, even though nothing's changed other than the lights themselves. But it does makes an impact. So anyway, that's it. I thought I'd share that with you, show you how super simple it is. Any one of you can do it. I'm confident you can. So let's see. Hopefully you're getting something out of my videos. If you are, hit that like button. If you could, please subscribe. Hit that bell so you get notifications when I put up a new video. Also, if you noticed, I started putting in links at the bottom in the description for tools that you can get through Amazon. And it's stuff that I use, I recommend. You know, it's not that I'm just trying to push stuff on people. These are things that I honestly do use and I do recommend. You know, it's part of my everyday thing. So there's some good stuff there. You know, you have that launch scanner is in there. Check it out. Doesn't hurt. I get credit for clicks. I really do. So, you know, the channel's growing, so things are progressing. And, you know, it's all because of you guys, and I appreciate it. I really do. Without it, without you guys doing what you're doing, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing. So I do appreciate it. I'm still working 7 days a week. You know, I happen to be on my own stuff right now, and I'll be here tomorrow too. Tomorrow's Memorial Day. Thank you to all of you who serve and who have served. Yeah, so that's about it. All right, guys. That's about it. Have a great day. Keep wrenching.